No, 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 no. Hello and welcome. Yeah, sorry about that. A little bit of technical gremlins, guys. Hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully everything's kind of working. I just had one of those, and the camera isn't working. Fantastic. Just bear with me a sec. I don't wonder why. I've not opened it up. And yeah, just had one of those things where it couldn't recognise where the camera was, and it was a matter of I was like going, well, the camera's there, it's right in front of my face. But yeah, and then YouTube and OBS weren't talking to each other. Something's annoyed them tonight. But we've managed, we're on. Look, we're on. I think we're on. I'm being told we're on. So that's absolutely fan-dabby-dozy. Now, what are we doing tonight? We are having a cook-along. No, I am not cooking things up in the culinary sense. We are looking at Roger Cook. Yes, Roger Cook, an absolute tour de force in investigative journalism. And we're going to look at one of my... this could become a regular thing. Of some of my favourite episodes of the Cook Report. Didn't know about the Cook Report. The Cook Report was something that ran from 1985 right through until 1999. 16 series it had, where basically Roger Cook would go in and do lots of different investigations on a whole plethora of different things. And tonight we're looking at the hot dog wars. Yes, the actual fatal problems with the cylindrical meat product, which is loved by us all. Right, so yeah, a bit about Roger Cook. Roger Cook, he actually started off on the BBC. He's actually from New Zealand, and he started off on the BBC. And one thing that that used to happen to him a lot is because he put himself in situations with some pretty sort of nasty sort of ne'er-do-wells, and he used to get attacked quite a lot in his exploits to try and get the truth from these rapscallions. And I'm going to start off with something that he did when he was on the BBC, when he went after a rogue antique dealer that was selling fakes. And yep, I'm just going to put him on now because yep, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about when he used to get attacked.
I'm Roger Cook from BBC Television. Would you mind, there's certain questions that really ought to be answered about the antiques that you're passing off, the fakes that you're passing off as the real thing. There are a lot of very important questions to ask. We have a record of you actually saying that you passed off a Masatami monkey group for £700 at auction. We have a tape recording of it. Would you like to see the transcript of the tape recording? You would? Jolly good. Well, here's...
I've got 3 men broken my shop, but they're mob-handed.
They're not mob-handed.
Yeah, quick.
We've come in to answer a couple of... or to ask you a couple of questions.
500-481.
Good. There we are. Look on this page here. That's you.
I've got about 4 men broke in my shop with cameras and everything.
Nobody broke into his shop, Mr. Harris.
You won't even leave the shop. There's an absolute madhouse here.
Is it? Doesn't look like a madhouse to me.
Christopher George Harris.
Doesn't look like a madhouse to me, Mr. Harris.
217 Preston Road.
Nobody broke in.
You don't believe it. It's unbelievable. It's like the bloody mafia down here.
Does it look like the mafia to you,
it does
Mrs.
to me.
Harris?
This is my private property. Would you please leave my shop?
Well, you hadn't asked before, and you did physically manhandle me out on camera. Look, there you are. That's your words.
Can you get me in trouble, please?
The only trouble you're in, Mr. Harris, is trouble you got yourself into.
Can you get out of the shop?
That's your words. Look, we put one of these Masatami things in auction for £700 and got it.
Count to 10 and I'm going to start.
Mr. Harris invited me to step outside and talk things through, but his means of communication proved to be a metal bar.
Camera and all.
Are you?
Yeah.
Come on, let's go! Let's get some out of this! Come on! Come on, you pig! Come on, let's get something out of it! Come on, hit me! Come on, let's get something out of it! You're breaking my shop! Tell me you own the bloody place! Come on then! Come on, hit me!
He then went for the camera crew, and I tried to calm him down and head him off. It didn't work, and I can only say that if you've bought a plastic replica via Mr. Harris, believing you bought the real thing, complaints don't seem to be treated very sympathetically.
Let's go. Fight.
Well, Roger Cook's director took a few blows as well, and Roger himself is now recovering from 3 cracked ribs. Just to remind you again, if you do have any doubts about that tempting little ivory carving, just ask the dealer if he'd mind you giving it a jab with a red-hot needle.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yes, that was Peter Snow. Sorry, I have to turn the mic off because you get a bit of reverb sometimes that you can hear out of my earphones. Not quite sure I thought he'd get away with that, passing off plastic antiques as the real deal. But anyway, so there's just an example of Roger Cook there getting it with a steel bar. So we'll get cracking with the hot dog wars. Oh, sorry, I should also just point out, this particular YouTube channel, Roger Cook Reports, it's a sort of an attempt to try and get all of the episodes of the Cook Report. They were all apparently destroyed in a fire in a storage facility. That has been disputed by some people because when Central Television got left Lenton Lane in Nottingham, quite a lot of the archive went missing, and so so some people say that it may not have been burnt down, it's just got sort of lost in the ether. But this particular channel is put out for people basically to if they could find anything on VHSs and to send it to this channel, and they've been putting together an archive of the shows. Unfortunately, quite a lot of them have got glitches on the tape, so there's like some episodes that if I wanted to do them, I won't be able to do them because, to be quite frankly honest, they are sort of seizure inducing or have little like pippy noises in the background. It's quite annoying. Well, this one doesn't, so we'll get cracking.
It's a quiet night in the city, unless you're selling hot dogs. If you are, and you pick the wrong place, it could be war.
Don't give me that I'll stick you to the in the cooking pan. Let me have a look at that license, man. Let me have a look at that that's it. Leave me alone. Let's have a look at that license.
Want to be your own boss?
Better shake it, Stephen.
Want to make a new start with your redundancy settlement? There's money in hot dogs and hamburgers, so they say. The more you work, the more you earn. At least that's what Dave and Jane Warren were told. Disillusioned, they've now quit the hot dog world.
It was a rip-off, definitely. I mean, well, shall we say a rip-off? I mean, you go in really with your eyes closed. You don't know.
I quite like how they've filmed this guy and he's carrying a gun. Is he setting out some kind of message that eventually one day he will wreak his revenge?
What you're going into. We regard ourselves as reasonably respectable people, and we thought that the rest of the people in there would be the same. And it must be true to say that a lot of them are really good people. But then there was the sharks, the people who'd been in it all their life. They knew exactly what was happening. They knew the business inside out, and they'd take you for a ride right the way down the line.
It's often a far cry from those promises in the business opportunities pages of newspapers.
Earn several hundreds daily, literally thousands from single events.
So how has this lady done?
Terrible. We were just conned from the very beginning into expecting, to earn a good wage, quite a bit of money, and it just never worked out like that.
In fact, Pauline Frogson's little venture has lost her £27,000.
There's a lot of people gone bankrupt and have just had to sell the catering vans because they can't afford to go on.
So we decided to go into the business ourselves.
I'm not a fan of that S there. If you can see it, that looks like a bit of an... It looks like they was going to go with Happy Burger. Maybe there was something actually... There was an Happy Burger. I'm not happy with that. Just stood over there.
To have a closer look from the inside. We're concentrating on two main areas which appear to dominate the business. The big sports and music events, where it's said that backhanders buy the only sites that make real money, and the city streets, where the common currency is violence.
The majority of my customers are spot on there.
First stop, the annual conference of the Mobile and Outside Caterers Association, where violence was high on the agenda.
This guy come along and said that it was his sister, and he told me to get off, and he said if I didn't get off in 10 minutes, it would wreck the van. I said, okay, fine, and I started to pack up, and he just walked back up and picked me up and started throwing me on the floor, and then he just walked off. His missus shouted him.
My wife and son and myself have been threatened. We've had the heavies sat in our house, and we've been told we either pay up or they take the trailer away.
We made a modest beginning, a shiny new handcart and a false moustache.
That moustache is just quality. It's that's it. Just stick a moustache on. That's all you need.
This was to be a journey into a world of graft and violence, of profitable payouts and painful payoffs. At first, no one took much notice of us. There weren't enough customers at our chosen pitches to fight over. So we headed for the bright lights, where we knew trade was good. Outside Tottenham Court Road Tube Station in London, a prime inner-city site. It's 7 o'clock, we're all fired up and ready to go. A council licence to trade on this pitch.
Show me I'll come there and give me license. They give it to you. Show me the
They
won't give you license.
I'm not going to show somebody as rude as you.
I bury you on this tonight, my friend.
You what?
I bury you on this tonight.
You bury me? How? You park there. You're trying to close me down, are you?
You bury me. Wow.
Shall we call the police?
Yeah, go to call the... Come on, go together. Come on.
The heavies lost no time in arriving.
Go together, the police.
Let's call the police. Have a license.
First, they parked their trailer right across ours.
Your characters will do something nasty to my van.
Someone already going to look to police station. Go and ask it.
I wouldn't trust you. Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
The heavies turned up in 3 waves. Our legal activities threatened theirs, which were beyond the law and strictly cash in hand. They think nothing of paying £100 a day in fines. They'd already threatened to destroy our cart if I didn't leave. I didn't, and they did. 12 in all, they made it clear that the consequences would be fatal if we tried again. No one, even with a licence, was going to get in their way.
You're the governor now, are you? All this has been filmed. All the threats, all the violence, the smashing up of this. It's the way you normally behave, isn't it?
I'll come up to you and ask you nicely. You said no. So I said to you, you're going to...
They come up and ask you nicely. No, you didn't.
Regret. You don't listen, though, do you?
That was a threat, was it?
Was it a threat?
Yes.
How was that a threat?
Because this is what's happened. You said I'd regret it. And,
no, I said you regret it. See, like that now, what's happened?
Are you the boss?
I'm the governor, yeah, go on.
You're the governor?
Yeah, carry on.
You're David.
I'm the governor.
Yeah, there have been 3 Davids so far.
Plenty of Davids.
Plenty of Davids.
And you run the West End for burgers?
Me, I run the planet, mate. The West End, I run the planet.
And this is what you do to people?
Yeah.
This is what you do to people
That's
who...
it, mate, yeah. Don't like it. Chuck in it.
Unfortunately, that's how it is in the hot dog world. I was legal, and now I'm out of business. He's illegal, and very much in business.
It's not even, if you look at it, it's such an unconvincing moustache as well. It really is.
And you saw how he managed that. The hot dog business is run on violence.
In almost every city we went to, we found hot dog kings who thought they ruled the planet. Kings who rule by fear. King of kings was Gary Thompson. It was the murder of Gary Thompson in Leicester last October that first alerted us to the physical and financial perils of the hot dog industry.
I'll just stop it here now. This this particular story, where I grew up in Belper in Derbyshire, we used to get Central News East, and this was a constantly running story. I think that I'm not entirely sure if they found out who was guilty of it. It was just something that just kept running and running and running right up until the turn of the century. And I think this was done in the mid-90s.
Gary Thompson.
Hot dog guy, that's just brilliant. That is at the hot dog wreath. It's just, wonderful.
Thompson died violently, shot as he returned home with tens of thousands of pounds in weekend takings. Weighing in at 25 stone, a millionaire with connections in London, Glasgow, Manchester and Liverpool, he'd drawn together the lucrative threads of this disparate business. Thompson's last journey was made in style, and the van at the rear made it obvious what had paid for that style.
Now that Gary's...
Oh yeah, sorry. A man was jailed for it. Warren Slaney, this is from 2005, he was he constantly maintained his innocence about it. I'm not sure whether or not he did manage to get the conviction quashed, but yeah.
Thompson's died. I mean, now everybody wants a piece of what is left, and it's just turned into like some kind of war.
I've had a visitor tonight and somebody's thrown 3 petrol bombs in the van.
Dick Bye is a small operator with 3 vans and poses a threat to nobody, you'd think.
Well, you can see what a mess it's made.
Yes, I can. Right, let's have a good look then.
Well, there's a lot of animosity in the hot dog world at the moment, and a lot of ill feelings. I probably upset somebody along the line.
Leicester was home to Gary Thompson as well as to Dick Bye. So it was here we decided to try our luck next with a bigger unit, a hot dog trailer.
2 jumbos.
Once again, we were operating legally with a council licence for our chosen pitch. Even so, we had unwelcome visitors.
Don't give me that. I'll stick it to the in the cooking pan. Let me have a look at that license, man. Let me have a look at that. Oh, that's it. Leave me alone. Let's have a look at that license. License. Get out of here from here. All right. Get out. Now. Okay. Let's have a look at it.
This guy here is a proper like nutter. He'll come on to it later on, but yeah, he didn't just stop at hot dogs, put it that way. Well, I'll come on to that.
So, just who was this agitated man with the colourful English? To find out, we went back to the film of Gary Thompson's funeral. And there, amongst the mourners, we found him, a man not long out of prison after serving 5 years for kidnapping and torture. He's Joe Persico, Gary Thompson's former first lieutenant. Persico is apparently trying to take over the Thompson empire.
Gary used to like to buy people out. Joe wants to buy people out, but with violence. He wants to drive everybody else out of business. You know, and if he's at a show, you know, he won't think nothing of them, like either turn them off or tipping them over or threatening the staff.
Okay, all right, this is Gary Thompson, pick now from here. Right, and I see you back on it. The going up, okay?
What sort of a person is Joe Persico?
He's a very, very, very violent person.
Unpredictable?
Very. If they've got a better pitch than him, he'll move their vehicle with his vehicle, put it in the middle of anywhere. He'll turn the gases off, he'll cut the gas pipes on the unit, he'll terrorise as many people as he can if they're affecting his business. You can never predict him. It's like a mad dog.
It's like a mad dog, which is ironic with the hot dog thing. There was another thing as well in the 80s. I think there was an ice cream wars in Glasgow. Don't know if anyone remembers that. I'm a bit too young for me, like, but yeah, there was a similar thing that happened with people getting on people's patches, and I think some people might have died in that as well. And I think there was a burger wars thing as well in the 90s. But anyway.
But Persico was true to his word. He closed us down, dragged our van off its blocks, and towed it away. Undeterred, but a little wary of the mean streets, we decided to change venue, to abandon battle with the illegal traders, and to set up where everyone was legal. Trading as Happy Burgers, of course.
Not happy with that ass. In fact, I'm going to just take a little slight break. I'll be back in a bit. Cheers.
We applied to a major catering concessionaire for a pitch at one of the big Easter events. The World Superbike Championship at...
Sorry, I didn't go for a podcast there. Sorry not to turn my mic on. I just went to get my phone. It was knocking around somewhere. Right.
Donington Park.
Whoa! Like that.
The price of a pitch was £500 for the weekend. But then some of the large multi-unit operators boast of taking as much as £100,000 at big events.
You waiting for burgers?
Violence is relatively rare. The problem is being in the right place to make a profit. The catering concessionaires at Donington were Concert Publishing. We'd heard about them at the Mobile Caterers Annual Conference.
And thinking of Monsters of Rock at Castle Donington last year, being told that there would be from 60 to 100 other caterers. When you get there, you find that there are 160. So you then go along to these people called Concert Publishing, and you ask them why this is so, and they say, you can imagine they use 2 words. And one's 4 letters, the other one is 3. Do you know what I mean?
As it was, we didn't even cover our costs. We'd been promised a good site and that we'd be the only unit selling dogs and burgers in our area. Both promises were false. So what makes a good site? Nick Johnson, former operator of 11 hot dog trailers, explains.
Well, the thing is, with fast food, it's impulse buying. If you've got to go off the beaten track to get something to eat, people just won't bother. As you can see, the units around here, the bar's doing nothing, the burger unit's doing nothing. I mean, it's a bad sight.
But these people would have come on a good promise.
Oh, yeah. Everybody gets the good promise. We're all going to come here and make a lot of... We're all going to be millionaires, but if we're going to find this time next year, they won't be here. They'll have done the brains, gone bust.
Right in the middle of that bad sight was newcomer Anne Matthews.
You know, I was led to believe on the fact that there was going to be lots of people buying and stuff like that. So I bought in a lot of stock. I bought too much food, far too much food. It's all going to be thrown away and wasted. And that's the majority of my money gone. And it's just, I don't know, I'm just so upset about it. I really am.
I wonder if they can get away with this now, because I think, you know, with the internet and stuff, you probably, people will get wise to this, I think. But back then, it was just like almost sort of free reign, really, because unless you actually knew, unless you was like they said in that sort of union sort of meeting that they had, that wouldn't have made people aware, unless you didn't know that, you'd be basically putting a big investment into something which you could be just chucking your money down the drain, as we can see.
The man who sold Anne and us our pictures is concert site manager Nobby Anderson.
Why it is you've been making false promises to people about the kind of money they can earn. We tried it for ourselves and couldn't possibly have covered our costs.
We don't really sort of make anybody any promises. All we do is we sell space.
Do you now? You also made a promise saying we would not have any opposition close to us, and we did. We had a much bigger trailer in a better position. He did the business, we didn't.
Well, what do you regard as opposition?
You were selling burgers just like we were.
Well, I'm not a caterer.
So what reaction did Anne's predicament prompt?
Oh, tears. It really does.
And had the weekend really lost her £800?
Yeah.
I've got nothing to hide because I know this is a very, very dodgy industry anyway. And I'm not fanning you either.
We've actually talked to a lot of people who are not very happy, including some who say they've had to give backhanders to get a decent site.
Really? Well, that's something I can't comment on.
But Nick Johnson can comment.
As I know that certain instances whereby I know that people have paid 4 figures, backhanders, to take jobs on.
To whom?
To the organisers.
And you've done that?
With concert. Yeah, we've seen Nobby Anderson well in the past.
Meanwhile, Nobby was rethinking.
Now, someone has had it off at the end of a few days. Well, I mean, it's a very sort of rough sort of phrase to use, but I'm talking as it actually is. Someone wants to go, oh, very happy, Nobby, there we go, here, have a pony in your bin. Like 25 quid, have a drink. I mean, that's not expected, but I mean, people do that. I mean, I'm a working man, I earn a few quid a week. Someone walks up with a pony and goes, here, it's a bit in your back bin, little bonus, sweet as, isn't it?
Mate, you're on camera, this isn't off the record. You just basically admitted that you're taking backhanders. Bloody hell.
Concert Publishing operate from smart offices in Islington. The boss is John Collins.
What about greasing palms to make sure you get a better site? Because as we all know, there's some good sites at any event and some pretty bad ones.
Yeah, I'm sure that goes on, but it's not something I agree with. But then again, I'm sure that it goes on. I mean, there are people that we deal with on a regular basis, and if they say, you know, we would like to go there, and we'll do more business with you, maybe they will. You know, there's no difference than any other business, is it really?
Well, yes, it is. I mean, we didn't know.
Well, no, but you're new at it. Hopefully, when you've been doing it a bit longer, maybe you will know.
Newcomers maybe, but the odds were stacked against us. Concert claimed they'd sold 33 pictures. We counted 45. Some did well, most did badly, and not all through incompetence either. Par for the course, according to Roy Norris.
My advice to anybody that wants to go out into the catering world and spend either the redundancy money or the savings, it is very easy to go out and buy a catering unit. The hardest job is getting the work for it. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there, and if you want to go into the shows...
Dog-eat-dog, hot dogs. You remember Dog-Eat-Dog? They were like a band that were... they were a bit like a cross between the Beastie Boys and Rage Against the Machine. But they must have known they were a cross between Beastie Boys and Rage Against the Machine, because they decided to bring a saxophone player into it to make them a bit different. No fronts was the big hit. Anyway,
There's an event side of it. You can be ripped off left, right and centre with high rents and low takes, and even get beaten up at the end of the day if you're not very careful.
Nevertheless, the siren call of fast money from fast food keeps luring the newcomers in. And in Leicester, the hot dog war is hotting up. Joe Persico's cousin has had a dead pig dumped in his Land Rover. The corpse had Joe's name carved on it and a scar where Joe has one on his face. All very mafia. Eventually, Joe Persico returned our phone calls.
Listen, Roger. Right, listen. I don't deny that I fiddled my tax and I fiddled the VAT, right? And anybody tried standing near enemy units, right? I mean, I'm willing to have like the meeting with you. You know what I mean?
First, we met Phil Bennett, the smiling axeman who serves as Persico's minder.
You couldn't scare him with an axe. I'm sure if someone pulled an axe on me, I'd be scared. You know what I mean? It works both ways, right? It's like there's been bars and everything, right? But it's only like front. They ain't actually been used on anybody.
How does somebody new to the business know that? If somebody like you, with a determined look on his face, arrives with an axe, they're going to go away, aren't they?
Yeah, I reckon they are. Well, most of the time.
And then Joe Persico himself, a violent, unpredictable, even an unstable man.
This guy, yeah, he was in jail as recent as 5 years ago. If we just bring it up here, yeah, these are not really people you want to be messing about with. But yeah, he was. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that. No, you can't. But yeah, he was bullying customer, threatened to kill Derbyshire car mechanic. He was from Ilton, Derby, and Giovanni Persico went round to the victim's house and told him to take off his glasses as he was going to smash him up. Not one of these people. Proper geezer, this guy.
No, I won't agree with that. You lose your temper extremely quickly. You can be Mr. Nice Guy 1 minute and raving the next.
Well, it only takes 1 minute to smash a glass into somebody's face, doesn't it?
No, you shouldn't be like this over a hot...
It only takes a minute to smash a glass to someone's face. You know, to have that in your head, you know, to come out with that, it's unhinged, isn't it, really?
Dog pitch, for example.
Not really, no.
Well, you did it to us. You leaped on our hot dog van straight over the counter.
What do you mean I leaped onto it?
You leapt straight over the counter.
I can't remember doing that. Honestly, I can't remember leaping over it. Did I?
You did.
Must have been a very springy, energetic, hyperactive move that night.
You have never been violent towards anybody? You have never destroyed anybody's property?
I've done in the past, yes.
Hey? You can't do that.
People have no right to be frightened of you?
Our boss got us a license. You can't do that. What's the boss? It's like proper license. It don't stink, bitch. Right, get the off me. Get out.
What do you mean exactly? But people don't have no right to be frightened of them.
You've given nobody cause ever to be frightened of you? I mean, people say you're an evil man.
Well, it's the eye for the, it's the eye for the eye, isn't it? The eye for the eye, tooth for the tooth. Somebody's good to me, I'm twice as good to them. Somebody's bad to me, I'm twice as bad to them.
It's the law of the jungle, is it?
It is. It is a jungle. The hot dogs isn't a business, it's a rat race. It's a rat race.
Yeah, yes, hot dogs. It's a rat race. Maybe there's some rat in the hot dog.
Out on the streets, it's council enforcement officers who have to try to clear up the mess. And in Westminster, they've come up with a rather ingenious answer.
Legislation has come in, has given us more power. It has enabled us for the first time, when we approach these individuals and ask them to stop trading, to physically remove their stalls, their trolleys, for evidence purposes to be taken to court. And in fact, yesterday we took 10 of these traders to court, and in a lorry we took along 10 of the trolleys for evidence for the court to see.
The court can hit the illegal traders where it hurts by seizing their trailers permanently. Some of those in this yard belong to the boss of that man in Tottenham Court Road, who claimed to rule the planet.
I also remember them little the hot dog and burger stalls that used to get it outside football grounds. At the baseball ground particularly, used to sell them Westler's hot burgers in gravy that you can still get from B&M Bargains. There's been a few. They don't look that palatable, to be honest. But I think Bald Foodie Guy did a review of them, and someone did a review of them actually said that's what they used to get fed as a kid, and said they were quite nice, but not for me. And I'll eat those.
So why do you, when people set up quite legally on licensed pitches, why do you send your heavies to smash up? Why didn't you leave us alone? We were perfectly legal where we were. Why did you send your heavies to turn over and smash up our perfectly legal van? Why do you threaten people and scare them off? You have no right.
I don't threaten nobody.
Your heavies do. You sent them back and they turned our van over. You know they did.
It's the mafia or something. It's a businessman. What are you talking about?
You say you've got nothing to do with him. Leave him alone.
No.
Now you say, you look at the pictures, would you? That is you, and these are your men turning over.
And this is the same man caught on camera in Tottenham Court Road. Ozdemir Mahmut is a man with a liking for violence and a criminal record.
He don't care. Roger Cook, he just had no fear whatsoever. No fear at all. You know, it may as well be called, like, the show was Mess With This Bastard or something, you know. It's just brilliant, absolutely.
Do come out. Why won't you answer questions about the way you violently try and control hamburgers in the West End, eh? There is no answer for your kind of behaviour, is there? There's absolutely no answer for your kind of behaviour.
Ozdemir Mahmut is still in business. The man who drove him away was setting up on our old pitch within the hour. Our files on hot dog wars are now in the hands of the police. Joe Persico is still in business, armed with an axe and a sledgehammer, following a shotgun attack on his father's home. And by rather different means, Concert Publishing continues to prosper.
I don't twist anybody's arm to come on a job.
What you can be fairly sure of is that the people at the top in the hot dog business probably got there at other people's expense. Take our word for it.
So there we have it, the hot dog wars. So that's going to be the first one. That is the first one that we've dealt with. The second Cookalong I'm going to do is they took over a pub and they did this sting on these protection rackets where they would come in, a group of people, and start a fight on purpose in a pub. And then they would, someone would come in the next day and go, if you don't want that to happen again, you know, grease our palms and we'll sort it out for you. There's that one, and I also want to do the cut and shot car one, where they get 2 bits of old cars that have been picked up at auction for parts that have been involved in accidents, and then what they do is they weld them together. That was another one. There's like I say, there's quite a few on that channel. Unfortunately, some we can't have on for technical reasons, and there's also some stuff that we can't have on for other reasons. But yeah, it's something that I would. Yes, you remember the car one. I'm not going to don't ruin it. But yeah, there's a great thing that happens at the end of that, and it's another one. It's one where Roger Cook gets attacked, and I also remember with that when my mum and my dad bought the first. Well, it wasn't the first car, but they bought a car in the 90s. It was a brand new Citroen AX, and my nan had seen. My nan sadly no longer with us. My nan on my mum's side, she'd seen the cut report, and she was worried that it was going to be one of those where it was 2 things that were welded together, even though it was brand new and from like an actual Citroen dealership. She was worried about it, bless her. But yeah, that's what hopefully I'm going to do another one of those. Future streams. Now, we did one the other night that was the one on televangelism. It was a little bit rough around the edges. Yeah, so apologies for that. I'm trying to work out if I'm going to do that format again, which I am, just to make it a bit more tidy. So I'm not sort of looking around. You're not basically watching someone that's searching for things and looking for different bookmarks and so on. That's probably going to be the next stream. Is just sort of a compendium of things that I find interesting. So that'll be probably the next thing. And the first stream that I did on Terry Smith, the Chester City documentary, I'd like to do something similar again with another documentary which is called They Think It's All Rovers, which is about Doncaster Rovers' absolutely horrendous 1997-98 season, where basically everything that could go wrong did go wrong, and just absolute stuff that you just couldn't make up as well. So that's one for the future as well. So yeah, as always gets said with these things, please like and subscribe, and do hit the bell for notifications, and I'm trying to get it sort of rigged up as well that you'll get sort of a reminder when I'm about to do some streams like a couple of days before. All of it helps. It really does help. It's like all the algorithms and things like that, and just getting the channel sort of better known. So thanks everyone who's subscribed so far. It really does help. Once I get to 100 subscribers as well, I'll be able to get my own custom URL, youtube.com/worldwidewinson. So yeah, it really does help. But thanks everyone for watching, that's watched it live, and those that are going to be watching it on sort of watch again sort of thing. Yeah, that's brilliant stuff. Thank you ever so much. Be smart, be safe.
Okay, Daddy. You've got a lot to learn before you leave. Try again,